Hello, welcome to another video in this Airbnb clone Ruby on Rails series. And in last video, we were trying to edit the property information. So we decided we will have three sections. One is for images, second is for property details, and third is for amenities. So what I'm thinking is I'll focus on only amenity updating part in this because I think it will be something unique in respect of this entire video series. We haven't done something like this. Uh, on the contrary, it will be easy for sure. So let's try it. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll show a checkbox here. Okay, so let's go to code amenity.all. Okay, we can add a checkbox here. Okay, first thing I want to do is I want to use a label here actually. F dot label, because we have been using label everywhere, right? And class can be this. Basically, we are just converting this p tag to a label, which is much more accessible, user friendly. Okay, so it's same. Now we will introduce a checkbox. So for that, f dot check underscore box. Then it will have multiple parameters. One of them will be IDs. So let's pass the IDs. And for IDs, we will have to go to property model. We have these amenities. So we'll have to use amenity IDs, I think. Let's see. Undefined method checkbox. Okay, got it. Refresh. Okay, so it is working. Now we will have to pass some parameters. The first one will be, let me write it down. First one will be the class. To refine this, then we'll also have to mention whether we have multiple enabled or not, because we want to make sure that we are able to select multiple, right? So that would be second. This is the second parameter. Then we will have to mention what is the default state of this checkbox. So it's either true or false, but there is one more parameter which is nil, which basically means that if we are not checking the checkbox, then it won't get submitted to our amenity list. You'll see this later on basically. Comma. So basically if it is unchecked, when a list of amenities go to our whatever post form that we create, whatever API call we create, this particular checkbox, if it is default value is nil and it is not selected, it is not part of our amenities IDs, this particular amenity will not get sent. We'll see this later on actually. And what else? We'll have to pass amenity ID also, but I think it should be the third parameter. Let me check. Great. Now you can confirm this by checking this. Okay, we are checking this input. Type is checkbox. Why is it type checkbox? Because we have mentioned checkbox, right? Value is 1. Where is it coming from? It is coming from amenity ID. For example, you can write okay, maybe a number. Yes, let's try this. Inspect, and you can see the value is 1 for this, but at the same time if you see something else, for that also value is 1, and we remember that air conditioning was checked, right? And because of that only all of these are looking like checked only. So I hope you got the point. This is the default value for the amenity. Refresh. Because of this it is able to decide whether we have to check mark this or not. Okay, because of this multiple true, we will be able to submit multiple changes that we will have to check when we are able to make the API call. Let's make some changes. Text primary. I'm making cosmetic changes, basically UI changes. This is 6 right? So let's use this same. And margin right 1, maybe a bit rounded empty. Yeah, margin right 2. I'll get rid of this blue border. For that we can use focus ring primary. Yes, that way we can navigate through these using tab button also. Okay, great. So these are the basic details that we have updated. Now we will have to send it to a form, right? Or make a API call. So earlier in our form we were using owner path, property path, which was connected with our, let's go to our controller, properties controller, owner properties controller, and in that it was connected to update. Now as I explained, I want this to be a separate thing. Like whenever you are updating amenities, it should not go in this update and it should be separate. So what I will do is I'll do something like this. It will almost be same code, but still I want to do it like this only for now. Update amenities, we will have to mention, use set property for this also, so that this is not nil. Then instead of property parameters, params, let's use, for now we will use property parameters. We'll update this later. For now, let's write raise. Now we will have to connect it, right? So we'll have to mention it in routes also, and that's where something new comes up, which is a member thing. Let me go to config routes, adding a member to Rails routes. Why is the scroll not working? Scroll is not working. Adding custom route to Rails. Yeah. Well, let me refresh. Nothing is getting selected in this. There is something known as member. Yeah, we can do something like this. Let's try it. So we can add a extra patch here. They are using get, but because we are not getting something, we have to update it, right? So we can use patch. Okay, and we can name it as, what was the controller name that we gave? Update amenities, right? So let's use update amenities. We can do member. Okay, so it's we are just adding a custom route here. Okay, you can have a look at Rails guide to understand this more, but it's nothing else. The resources, whenever we do this, it creates us 7 set of actions by default. But what if we want a custom action? You can do this like this. That's it. Nothing is special in this. It's just something that we are doing it for the first time. Rails routes -c, sorry, typo, -c owner /properties, right? Let's try this. And if we see this patch has been added, update amenities. So now we can use this. Okay, what it means is that whenever the form gets submitted, it should get submitted to this URL, this route. So for that, let's go to edit, where it's our amenities. In form width, I'm updating this _path. That's one. There's one mistake here. _path. Okay, instead of property updated successfully, amenities updated successfully. Failure to update amenities. Anything else? We have written race, so let's see. Let's try it out. refresh. Let's get rid of this. What I'll do is I'll remove air conditioning so that we know that initial IDs are not there. Initial 10-15 IDs are getting removed, and we are adding last IDs. So last 10 to 12 IDs should be continuous, something like this. Let's save, increase params. So what we have is, now see, we don't have initial IDs. So when we used nil, where is it? When we used nil here, what it did was, if it is unchecked, that ID will not get saved. So basically we are updating the entire list of amenities every time. It's fine, we can do that, it's not a big deal. So yeah, so that's why initial IDs are not present, and you can see that all last IDs are present, 28, 29, 30, all these things. Okay, so now we can make it, refine it a bit. Params dot require properties. What is it? Property. So we have got this, and finally it's amenity IDs, right? So let's try this. We'll go to our controller, create a new, basically param filtering. I'll name it as amenities params, and in that I'll copy this dot permit what we have to permit is amenity IDs, and it's an array, right? So amenity IDs. Now let's try to log this next time. Refresh. Let's add last two. The save. Amenity params, enter, and it's empty. Okay, I think we'll have to mention this. Permit array in Rails. ID followed by this. Something like this. Okay. Refresh. Let's add these two. Save. It worked. Maybe we saved something else. Let me reduce size. Okay, I think I clicked this save button, that's why. Save. Amenities params. Enter, and we have the updated list. So I'm not sure whether it is correct or not. I'm not sure which one I selected and deselected, but anyways, let's try to use this. Okay, so let's get rid of this from here and use this. Later on we will try to optimize on these two, but I think it's fine. It's fine. Refresh. Now let's reduce this screen zoom. Now what I will do is I'll get rid of a lot of amenities, okay, so that it will be very clearly visible to you. At the same time, I'll add a few. So I'll add this heating and hot water, which was not available earlier, and shampoo is added, and all initial ones are removed. Let's save. Amenity updated successfully. Refresh just to make sure, and you can see all the amenities above are removed. Heating and hot water has been added. So yeah, that's it for this video. Do like and subscribe. I do understand that at the end it does get boring, but I believe these are the things. The last part of any project are really is really hard. Like 80% of it is really easy, and last 15% is fine, and after that working on last 5% is the toughest. So that's it. Do comment, share it with your friends, and I'll soon start React related videos also, maybe in couple of days. uh, yeah, so I'll update you about that, so that eventually I can merge React and Rails also, shift to Android also. So there are a lot of tech stack that I am willing to explore. So that's it. Thank you. Bye bye.